Hi, and welcome to RedCube. Today we're going to be discussing podcasting. Now, I'm sure you've heard a lot about podcasting, but some of you may not know what it is or what it's for, or you know what it is, but you can't really find a use for it. So I'll give you a quick synopsis of what it is and why it's great. Very simply, podcasting is a broadcast for an iPod, or in this case, an iPod broadcast for your computer. You don't need an iPod, but if you've got it, then you can sync it straight to it and listen to whatever you need to on the go. Your computer, of course, can play anything your iPod can, apart from the applications which are specific to your iPod. So, a big proponent of these is, say, the BBC in the UK. They have a lot of DJs, a lot of different shows always going on that not everyone can always listen to. If you're an expat, you can't listen to it locally, or if you're just at work during a daytime show. The BBC then will release it as a podcast, so you can download it and listen to an update or a synopsis or a summarization of the show in your own time. It's really, really good if you're just extremely busy or you live abroad. So I'm going to fire it up here. This is in iTunes. You have to get it through iTunes. And then iTunes Store as always, and then there's podcasts. Click on that. Now if you're new to podcasts, and I'm assuming you are if you're listening to this, then a great place to start with podcasting is on the top right here, podcasts. Top podcasts. Now if you click on this, the format is the same for all the other nationals and locations, but this one's for the UK. So here we go, top podcasts. A lot of these ones are for the BBC, different newspapers, different TV channels, different charity events, different radio shows. It's very, very good. So for all intents and purposes then, I'll give you an example that I want to subscribe to Jonathan Ross on BBC Radio 2. See the icon? It says subscribe. I'm going to click on that. And now you'll see on the left hand side I've got downloads. And click on that. Shows that I'm downloading this Jonathan Ross podcast. Great, okay. Going to let that one keep downloading. I'll go back to the iTunes Store. One isn't enough. I want something else. Let's go for Football Weekly, or from our American viewers that would be Soccer Weekly. Click subscribe, and let's get another one as an example. Now you'll see on the top left here, we've got a podcast menu and a 1 next to it. The 1 means I have one unlistened to podcast. Click on that. Got Jonathan Ross here. Now the blue icon, the blue little circle, means I haven't listened to it yet. The triangle means that that's the heading, Jonathan Ross. Now click on the triangle and then it expands to the podcast underneath it. Now depending on the podcast or the publisher, they'll usually do these sort of weekly. So underneath this one here, the Jonathan Ross here, you'll then have other ones. As the more you subscribe to the other versions, you'll then start downloading them all as well. So here, just to play it, double click. I'll fast forward into it. And now you can hear Jonathan Ross talking, doing what he does best. I'll pause that again. Go back to the Football Weekly one. Now, Football Weekly one here, you can see has lots of other ones. Great thing about this one is you can get a back catalogue. So if you're new to podcasting and you're listening to the latest one that was recorded a few days ago, and you just click on that and you think, wow, that's great. What have they done previously? You can get them here. So these are all the previous versions of the podcast. I go, right, yeah, fancy that one, Laura Playground. You just press get, it'll download in the background, and then it'll go blue when you haven't listened to it. If you want more podcasts, go back to the iTunes Store. It'll remember where you came from. And if you want to go back just to the podcasting menu, go to podcasts up here just after the home directory. And here you have different sections, different genres, different authors, different categories. If you want business, there's a very good Economist one. There's good BBC documentaries, Sky Sports if in the UK. Stephen Fry, he's very, very good just to listen to. He does structured podcasts and rambling podcasts, all of which are very entertaining. Good. Well, this has been Podcasts, and thank you for listening.